Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215. Right now, it's 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time Zone. We're in Kingsessing. We're going to be doing the Kingsessing hood at nighttime. We just got off of the highway a few minutes ago. We're on Grays Ferry Ave and Pascal Ave. We're in West Philly. The weather's nice. It's not too hot. It's not too chilly. It's like a nice, lukewarm, I would say 67, maybe 70 degrees, but it feels perfect. Ideal weather. So I figure let's take a drive and see what it looks like. See what type of activity goes on over here in the Kingsessing neighborhood at nighttime. Now the Kingsessing hood during the daytime tends to have a lot of shootings. That's not funny, but during the daytime they tend to be on the news for like random shootings throughout the daylight hours. So I'm interested to see what type of activity we see at nighttime. I mean, the wise people would be indoors, you know what I mean? We're passing Grays Ferry Ave, now I turn to 48th Street. Yeah, the wise people should be indoors, but we'll see. Unless you gotta be out to commute, I don't foresee a reason to be outside. We're now approaching Woodland Avenue. So what we'll do is what we normally do. We'll zigzag the neighborhoods, go through some normal sized blocks, go through some tiny blocks. I got a vehicle behind me with the high beams on. I think they're in a Corvette, or either Corvette or Porsche. I can't tell. The headlights definitely look like a sports car, but they're tailing me. So guess what? We're gonna make this first left-hand turn on Hanson. Yeah, let's turn on Hanson. Hopefully this isn't a dead end. We're now approaching Yeadon Street. There's a cat crossing the street. That's our first sign of activity. We saw the kitty cat. See nobody out. What's today? Today is currently Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday. So in about an hour it'll be what? Sunday? Alright. I can go right, I can go left. We got the Woodland heavy maintenance facility in front of us. That's for SEPTA. We go left. I'm gonna go right though. Let's keep going right, because we go left, we'll hit Woodland Ave, and Woodland Ave, the streets are destroyed as far as the physical nature of the streets. Since the tracks run over them, a lot of potholes, really, really bad. We're approaching Greenway. 4800 block of Greenway on my right, 4900 block to my left. Now we're crossing Greenway. We got Anna Grocery on my left. I expect a lot of the businesses to be closed at this time of night. I don't even think you guys are really gonna see people sitting on their steps. But let's see, let's make this right on Raynard Street, 4800 block of Raynard. Check this out. I just keep going through these random ducky blocks. Yeah, look at that, no dumping sign on my left. People live back here because there's an actual vehicle back here. Smile, you're on camera. That's what it says on my left. And guess what, sign? You should smile too, because you're currently on camera. Alright. Another one, smile, you're on camera. I said slow down. I'll slow down for the sake of a child probably popping out. Technically, there should be no kids outside right now. You know what I mean? It's kind of late. Let's make this right-hand turn. That was that little block that we just went through. Right there in front of us. That led us to Yeadon. You remember? Yeah, so. We got 49th Street right here in front of us. Let's go straight. Make a right again. Past Anna's Grocery. And then we'll keep on going. Instead of making that first shorthand turn. Sometimes I try to turn because you never know what you're going to see. You know what I mean? This road right here, 49th Street, has tracks, but they're not as bad mean, there's a few bumps and potholes, but it's not as bad as Woodland Ave. Woodland Ave is really, really bad. Right now we're on Kingsessing Ave in the Kingsessing neighborhood. Speed limit is 25 miles per hour. That bridge in front of us, weight limit 25 tons. Wonder if there's ever been a scenario where those bridges have reached their weight limit. Like, will they automatically collapse, or would they hold under the pressure? Would they like flex or something? This bridge right here, 25-ton weight limit. All right, we're passing Regent Street. We're at Chester Ave. There's some people on my right. 49th and Chester. We got somebody crossing the street with a book bag. We got two gentlemen near that corner store. You guys can't really see them because it's dark, but they're walking with two children. And you see, you got one guy crossing with a red Nike book bag, and then a little bit. Watch, we'll pass them shortly. Jennifer Grocery on my right. These two on my right. They're walking with two little kids. I got a vehicle behind me. Oh man, what's up with everybody trying to speed at nighttime? I'm doing 18, 20 miles an hour, and even that's a little bit too fast for the street. We're on Springfield Ave. I'll go up one more block, I'll make a right, and then come straight down Springfield. Look at Waldy's Mini Market right there. That looks to be open. It looks to be open. Most mini markets stay open for a long period of time though, right? It's not a regular grocery store. It's a mini market. They be having 24-hour mini markets. I noticed an influx of mini markets opening up right around the time when store hours in a lot of places became limited. They started opening up a lot of mini markets. I'm gonna make this right on Warrington Ave, the 4800 block of Warrington. Got a dude crossing the street right here with a box of pizza. What's up, dude? Let me get a slice, buddy. And he got a Pepsi. Pepsi. When I used to drink Pepsi when I was a kid, it always hit my chest hard, right? Why it always give you like that hiccup, like the little gag reflex almost, because it's like so acidic. Yeah, and then it'd be nice and cold. Ah, man. I used to like that when I was young. I wasn't a big fan of Pepsi, but I used to like Sprite, Sierra Mist, ginger ale. What else? Orange soda used to be my twist. Let's make this right-hand turn on 48th Street, 48th and Warrington. Yeah, orange soda used to be my twist. Remember Keenan and Kel? Who likes orange soda? I do. Ooh. That's only if you're a Nickelodeon fan and you watch Nickelodeon growing up, then you know exactly where that line's from. If you didn't watch Nickelodeon growing up, then you're completely lost. Let's make this right-hand turn, Springfield Ave. 4800 block of Springfield. You know what's interesting about that? That the duo Keenan and Kel, I think Keenan kept, it was Keenan, right? Keenan was the heavier set one. Keenan kept acting throughout the years in different roles. Kel, which is the one with the gap teeth, the one who likes orange soda. Kel, from what I heard, Kel hit rock bottom. Kel didn't do too good, but Keenan never really helped him along his journey. You know, you would think that they was homies when they was kids on a TV show, that your homie would help you in some way, some form or another. He didn't. Until recently, like 2 years ago, I saw a segment where supposedly now they're going to be doing like a reboot. I think don't quote me to it. Don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to it. But they're supposed to be doing a reboot, and guess who's gonna be doing the casting for the reboot? Both Keenan and Kel. I think they're gonna be like producers or something. I don't know. Passing St. Bernard. I'm not gonna go right. I'm trying to go left. Alright, we're at 50th Street, so we can't go left because it's blocked off. I'm gonna go up another block and then go left on Divinity Street. We're going under a SEPTA underpass. It's not a main line underpass. This must be like regional rail or something. make this left-hand turn on Divinity. But yeah, it goes to show you, when you reach rock bottom, the ones you think that may or may not be there for you, don't be. A lot of people always said that they like the Kel better, going with the gap teeth. And you know what's intriguing about his story with the gap teeth? He had an opportunity to get his teeth fixed, but he never fixed it. I think I heard something about the casting agent said to leave your teeth like that because that's how you built your character, that's how you built your brand. If you notice, I don't know if you guys notice, we just exited the 1100 block of Divinity. I'm gonna make this right hand turn. I don't know if you, look at, there's two people right there crossing. Oh, they're walking their dog. They're not even crossing. They're walking their dog. He got the female on the side of the road though. Not cool. Yeah, so have you guys ever noticed there's a bunch of actors who are wealthy? I'm sure they're wealthy. They got crooked teeth, they got gap teeth, they got messed up teeth. They might be clean, but they're crooked or gapped. Now, I think a reason behind that is because the same reason with the Kel theory. The theory is your fans or your supporters or whatever you want to call them as a star, as a musician. Look, there's three people on my right walking. You got this Tesla on my left all lit up. But your fans support you the way you are, passing Regent Street. So if they fell in love with your character with gap teeth, with messed up teeth, leave them that way. Because if you change your teeth, you change the character that they fell in love with. Remember, that's your brand. And it occurred to me because like I see a lot of like wealthy people or wealthy actors or like veterans, and their teeth don't be 100% perfect. And I'm in my head thinking like, yo, if I had that type of bread, the first thing I'm getting is some braces, if not some Invisaligns. But listen, I'll probably go for the braces because I want to have some nice straight teeth. But nope. Crazy, right? So for example, if my y'all remember how I was talking about on my segment when I got the grills from Baltimore? We're passing Kingsessing Ave. There's a homie on the corner. There's another homie right here crossing the street. When I did that video, when I went to Baltimore, Maryland, there was a whole group of people on my right sitting on the porch. We're passing the 5,000 block of West Upland Street. I got those grills partially because, you know, it's an investment on the channel. It's tax deductible, so, you know, it's cool. It's gold. You know, you can't go wrong with gold. And it is what it is. I just, you know, it was an experience of a lifetime. We're driving down 51st and Greenway. So when I got those teeth, I mentioned in the video that my two front teeth are gapped and my bottom ones are a little, I mean, it's not tremendously gapped like 50 Cent. It's not that bad, but I do have a gap and they're slightly crooked. We just exited the 1400 block of 51st Street. It's a no outlet in front of us, so I'm gonna make this right hand turn. Yeah, so give me 1 second. Let's make this right up Paxson, right? Let's try Paxson. Right hand turn on Paxson. It's a little block. Let's see what this little block has to offer. So I was talking about my teeth being gapped and me wanting to fix them eventually, which that still might come in the near future. But just imagine, you know, if for some apparent reason I receive a large quantity of supporters overnight, you think they'll be bothered by me fixing my teeth? Would you guys be bothered? No, right? I'm sure the true supporters wouldn't really care. I'm sure that they wouldn't care if you have, you know, straight teeth or crooked teeth. But for me, for my personal reasoning, I wouldn't mind having at least that gap closed. I don't know. But yeah, so you tampering with your brand, yo. Yup, you tampering with your brand. So take that into consideration. If any of you guys are musicians, actors, actresses, once you build your fan base, remember your fan base became a supporter because of the way you looked when they initially watched you. Sometimes people do drastic changes and they don't get the same support. Like the other day I was watching, what was I watching? I don't know, something, but Mike Jones was on it. Now, Mike Jones wasn't really super duper popping when it came to the mainstream. He's a hip-hop artist from back in like 2000 and, I don't know, 10, 11. Anyway, Mike Jones and Paul Wall, remember? A hip-hop rap artist. He's super duper skinny. Like, compared to what I remember him being a little chubbier, a little heavy set. Yeah, you make those drastic changes, it pretty much changes your character. There's a lot of other people who 10, 15 years later, they look completely different. And it's like, they don't look like the same character. And that kind of sucks too, because it doesn't leave room for evolution. It's like, you got to stay looking like that way forever. Yeah, seriously, it sucks. All right, let's make this left-hand turn. I just got to be careful. There's a lot of traffic. I don't want cars to come out at night and boom. We're approaching 52nd Street. We got 52nd Street Brothers Market. We're on Kingsessing Ave. I'm going to make this right-hand turn on Kingsessing. No, on 52nd. Yeah, we just came off of Kingsessing. Yeah, so 5100 Region on my right. I'm not going to go down Region because I feel like I just went down Region. Oh no, I've been down that block before, but on another tour. Now, I've did this neighborhood several times, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't my first time doing this neighborhood. We got Wei Hua Chinese takeout on my right 52nd and Chester. And we got Ascona Supermarket across the street. We're crossing Chester. So if you want to check this neighborhood out in the daytime and see what it looks like, browse my channel. Alright, I can go up another block or two. I'll probably go up another. Look at the dude on my right. Looked like it was either moving out or moving in. Right, 52nd and Springfield Ave. I'm gonna take it another block or so, and then I'm gonna make a left. I'm trying to think of another artist who made a drastic change who no longer looks like themselves. Yo, you know what I saw the other day? Remember Bill and Ted? I don't know how many of y'all remember Bill and Ted. And remember they came out with the cult flick in 89 was the first one, part one. And then 1990 or 91 was part two. Well, anyway, I think it was 91. Well, they just came out with a new one this past year. And they have children. Bill and Ted have children, y'all. Yeah. And Keanu Reeves, who's known from The Matrix and all these other movies, that dude still damn near looks relatively the same. I mean, he definitely grew into his manhood a little bit. You know, more Phil when he was young. He looked like he was 18, a teenager, 20s. Look at, got some homies crossing the street. But yeah, so wow, that light is causing a crazy lens reflection, like a crazy glare. GSD Deli on my right hand side. Let me make this left so we ain't gonna get blinded by that lens glare. But he looked relatively the same. Now his partner, he still looks the same, but he didn't age too well. I don't think he had many roles throughout the years. Let's make this left on the 1100 block of Wilton Street. Yeah, I don't think he aged too well. But he still looks like, and they still act the same, you know? It's crazy because Keanu Reeves did like 20, 30 roles since then. Keanu Reeves became a household name. Yeah. He was in a lot of movies. It's like Nicolas Cage. Me and my wife were talking about that the other day. We were talking about Nicolas Cage. I was like, Nicolas Cage been in a lot of movies. I think he's been over 100 movies or something. Like, Nicolas Cage been around. Seriously. Like, he be having whole movies based around him. Right, we just exited 1100 block of Wilton. You let me go? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. But notice how Nicolas Cage always looks like Nicolas Cage. For the most part, in every single flick, Nicolas Cage looks very similar. Unless they need you to drastically gain weight, shave your head, do something crazy for a role, you stay the same for the most part. Alright, let's make this left, and then let's make that right on Wilton Street. Make this right. Big dog. Oh, ouch. Wow, that thing hit hard. You could barely see. We're in a 2-story residential block, closed porches, open porches. We got a Lincoln Navigator double parked in the middle of the street. I don't know if he's doing delivery. I don't know if he's doing Uber, if he's picking somebody up. I don't know. Just hope he's not in the house. You don't know how many times on many tours people were in the house and they left their car in the middle of the street. Yet there's a parking right here on my right hand side. You peep game? That ain't even the Navigator. That's an Aviator. It's much smaller. Come on, dude. I don't think there's nobody in it. There might be. I don't want to speak too soon. But I think the average person with a little bit of common courtesy would have saw some lights pull up behind them and would have slowly moved. Look on my right. Oh, they're waiting for a kid to get in. The kid's bringing them a cup of liquid? What? What are he bringing them? Some juice? Some coffee or something? Don't tell me the kid's gonna get in the car now. Kid, you could have got in the vehicle with the cup in your hand. No, he's out. There was people in it. That goes to show you. That's all they had to do was park. Literally, that's all they had to do was park. But I guess they felt that cup of whatever it was important. And they had the kid play butler and run inside and get it. I think I was already left, so I'm gonna make this right hand turn. It's dark. I just gotta be careful because my vision is a little funky at nighttime. Let's make this right hand turn on Lindenwood. We're in the 1300 block of Lindenwood. Man, I gotta put like a memo, like a self note or sticky pad or something that says spray some liquid on that spring on my clutch pedal, whatever it is. It's squeaky, and I got the penetrating grease. I got it. All I gotta do is spray a couple dabs. I'll be doing 21 things before you know it. It slips my mind. I swear, every time I get in the vehicle, I think about it. And then when I do these tours, I really think about it because all I hear is eee! That's what you see? It's and I tried before. I tried to press it softly. Let me see if I can press it softly without y'all notice it. Let me see. Shut up, Tune. Yo, it's so dramatic. Super duper dramatic, yo. We're at 53rd Street. I can go right, I can go left. Dunbar Community Counseling Services on my left. I can go right. I think I'm gonna go left. So we can get back to the main road. Oh, these roads, they be tripping. Alright, we're approaching Kingsessing Ave. We got the 5300 block of Kingsessing Ave to my right, the 5200 block of Kingsessing Ave to my left. So far, it's pretty quiet. There's not much activity out. It's surprising because it's a summer Saturday night. But like I said earlier, if this is a troubled area, we're passing rain on our street. I don't blame them for not wanting to be outside. People be getting shot on their porch. Passing Upland. Yeah, it's sad enough to say people have been getting shot on their porch in Philly. We're approaching Greenway Ave. We got A&R Food Market on my right. A&R. You get it? You get it? If you don't get it, A&R is what you need when you're trying to get to a label. Or at least back in the day, I guess it was. You needed like an A&R rep to hear your music, and then, you know, they'll be the one to like play the middleman. Nowadays with technology, you could be your own middleman. Passing Yoakum. Seriously. I'm gonna turn on the air conditioner a little bit because it's starting to get steamy. We're approaching Woodland Ave. We got the new Trendsetters Lounge on my right. A whole lot of people love double parking, yo. Like 5 people came out this lounge, so this lounge is popping. 53rd and Woodland Ave. Back to the treacherous Woodland. We got Ruby Street on my left. Woodland Auto Body on my left hand side. It's a female was emptying her trunk. We're at 54th and Woodland. Royal Cleaners and Laundry. Expert Alterations. How many of you guys use cleaners? I never really, to be completely honest with you, use cleaners on a regular basis. I used to use cleaners for like specialty garments. Like if it's something that I know you shouldn't throw in the washer. Yo, we got cops on my right station. I know if it's something you shouldn't put in the washer or wash yourself. Or if it was like a shirt that I really like a white shirt that, you know, I wanted to have clean professionally. Not just a white t-shirt, but like, you know, like a special design, a special material. Because sometimes when I put white clothes in the washer, man, they be getting messed up. Greenway, 54th and Greenway. Yeah, yo, they be getting messed up. So sometimes, I don't wear a lot of white nowadays anyway, but when I was young, I used to wear white. When I was young, my school uniform was khaki and white. I'm gonna make this right on Upland. Might as well. A little Civic on my left. Yeah, when I was in high school, my uniform was khaki and white. Khaki pants, white collar shirt. My middle school uniform was khaki pants, royal blue collar shirt. Wow, what a difference, huh? In elementary school, we didn't have uniforms. See, a lot of the older folks that are watching, y'all didn't experience uniforms like how we did. Now, if you were in a Catholic school, parochial school, then that's a different story. Like a charter school, I'm assuming that's different. You might have had like some professional looking uniforms. But only 90s kids and late 80s kids would probably really be able to sympathize. And I don't think all states did it. Did all states put uniform policy into play? I don't know. Good question. I don't really know. All right, I'm gonna make this left-hand turn. Might as well. Yeah. I know here in Philly, they definitely had it. But I know there was like a school, too, that didn't have it. The majority of Philadelphia had uniforms. Uniforms in the way was good, you know? It made everybody... Yeah, there was a dude just standing right there feeling his stomach. He's feeling... I don't know if he dropped something. I don't know what he was up to. But it was a good thing because, you know, in the mornings you didn't have to think about what to wear. You know, for the most part, it kept... Wow, that car that went by had like a army camouflage, and the orange in the army camo was reflective. Look, we got a whole group of people sitting across the street next to that yellow light. Let's see this vehicle right here. It had reflective. Yeah, look at it. It had reflective. You see it right in front of us? The orange on it is a reflective camo. Like how I got on my Supermoto. My Supermoto has reflective. That car got reflective, which is quite interesting. I'm not a big fan of the army camo thingy with jiggy that they got going on, but hey, to each his own. Ouch. We're at Chester Ave. We got somebody crossing. Go ahead, bro, cross. Chester Ave. It's a pretty bright corner. We got a water ice spot on my right hand side that's still open. Fred's Water Ice. Milkshakes and everything. Damn, you still open, bro? Who over here buying water ice? Alright, so let's get back to the uniform. Let's make this left on Trinity. But let me talk about the water ice thing real quick. On one of my videos when I was eating water ice, I went and bought some water ice. There was, you'd be surprised how many people, there was like several people, 6, 7 people that did not know what water ice was. They said, what is water ice? I never heard of water ice. Did you mean ice water? Is water ice? Yo, there was a lot of people that didn't. I was surprised. I'm like, wow, like, what is this? You can't tell me this is only a Philly thing. Or maybe those people were from out of the country. I don't know. Is it like an American thing? Water ice is like a frozen dessert. It's not ice cream. Ice cream has dairy in it. Water ice is kind of like, you get cherry water ice, blueberry water ice, coconut water ice, lemon water ice, watermelon water ice, orange water ice, blueberry, etc., etc., etc. You can pretty much get plenty of colors of water ice. You can even get chocolate water ice, surprisingly. But it's basically, how would I describe it? All right, here you go. This is an easy way to describe it. Go take some Kool-Aid, or go take some Hawaiian Punch, put it in a little styrofoam cup, put that cup in your freezer. When it freezes, scrape it with your teeth. You got that idea, right? Well, water ice is like scooped, so it's not really that hard. It's actually called Italian ice, Italian ice, or Italian water ice. Man, we call it water ice. There's plenty of places that say water ice, like that place that we just passed. But I was surprised that there was a lot of people that didn't know what water ice was. That was crazy. But yeah, uniforms really helped out a little bit, you know, unless people still wanted to go the extra mile and bust on you because you didn't have the best type of uniform, which sucks. The reason why they put uniforms into play was to, you know, to help, you know, the less fortunate kids. The kids, first of all, it makes everybody look more uniform, so you can tell what's a student and what's not a student, or who's a student, who's not a student. And then secondly, you know, the bullies, the insults, you know, picking on somebody because he or she has paid less versus somebody who had, you know, some expensive shoe or whatever. Yeah, so. But the thing is when I got to high school, they still found ways to like mess with students, because we had khaki pants and white tees or white collar shirts or whatever, but we still got to wear whatever sneaks we wanted. So you had some kids with $200 sneaks, you had some kids with $80 sneaks, you had some kids with $30, $40 sneaks. So you already know what happened there. And then it was khaki pants. It was whatever khaki pants you wanted. So if you had bread, like if you had money, you can put, like water ice on my left, Dylan's Water Ice and Smoothies. You see? That building on my left is called Dylan's Water Ice and Smoothies. Goes to show you. But anyway, so if you had bread and you were financially able, you could buy some fancy khakis. Like in my day, there was Rockaware. I know Rockaware sucks, in my opinion. Like it's kind of played out or whatever. No offense to anybody who's still rocking Rockaware in 2021. If that's your thing, that's your thing, bro, or sis. We're passing the Greenway, but I don't really rock that no more. I don't rock Rockaware no more. But when I was young, I used to rock State Property, which was a branch of Rockaware. It was a Philadelphia, you know, group. We're passing Yoakum Street, and let's make this right on Woodland Ave. And you know, Day wasn't cheap. State Property wasn't cheap. Rockaware wasn't cheap. Azuri, Parasuco, Academics. So basically, in school, you could get yourself a pair of academic khaki pants, or if you wanted to get some, let's say, some what you call it? You wanted to get like for example, Marc Francois Gibaults. I used to rock Marc Francois Gibaults. Those was $82 a pair of jeans. So just imagine, let's make this right on Vages. Can I make it right here? Because I got a vehicle tailing me with his high beams on. I can't understand why. Let's make this right on 56th Street. If he turns with me right here, then yeah. No, he kept going straight. Psh. Got his high beams on for no apparent reason. He literally turned them on because I guess he thought I was going too slow. Look, we got a couple people right here in the middle of the street. They look like they're having a whole argument. He was like up in his face. I don't know if they're having like a friendly talk. I don't know what type of friends talk that close to each other, but yeah. I'm sorry, we need to be an arm distance, bro. Like, reach out your arm. If you pass that, then you too close. Yeah, Chinese restaurant on my left. But yeah, so I used to rock like the Marc Francois Jabot. So if you can get those in khakis, it's like $82, or you know, like the state props, like 55. I had the state props. We're passing Upland. I had the state prop sweatpants that had the crack pocket and the wee wee hole. I said the wee wee hole. The hole, like your zipper hole. Well, sweatpants don't have zippers, but these sweatpants did. They were specialty sweatpants. We're passing Kingsessing Ave. So State Prop was just let me sum this up real quick. State Prop was a Philadelphia rap group that was under Rockefeller, Jay-Z. State Prop consisted of Beanie Siegel, PD Crack. We're passing Regent Street, and a few other Philadelphia rappers, right? And they came up with their own clothing line called State Property. So they had jackets, and I had the jacket too. Jacket was dope. They had jackets, they had hoodies, they had pants, all that. One of their selling points was they geared their clothing towards hood people who were on the corners or who was doing stuff, you know, doing activities. And the clothing had special hidden pockets. Pockets to hide your bundle, pockets to maybe hide a weapon, like special zippers, special, you know what I mean? So I remember when I was a youngster, this is a true story, when I was a youngster and I used to take a bundle of Mary Jane into school, right? I would have it in my pee hole. Oh, I gotta stop saying pee hole. Like, we got 2-story buildings on my left-hand side, but the second floor got a balcony. The first floor got a porch. On my right, they don't got a balcony on the second floor, but they got a porch. But I used to bring the bundle in my zipper, you know, where my state prop, you know, crack pocket was. And I used to go through the metal detector. I will put my keys, I will put anything metal on me in the metal detector, and I will walk through and they would beep, 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 you know, beep you or whatever. But since, you know, it's a school, they weren't allowed to grab you in that area. They never ever checked there. So I was like, them pockets came in clutch. But they had different ones, like right under your armpit. They had like the coat. They had one like right behind the back of your neck. Like the most odd places where you wouldn't think they would put a pocket at. But yeah, that clothing line, I don't think it became too successful. Maybe because of that theory that I just mentioned. It was geared towards people in the streets. There's still some state property clothing you can find on eBay. To be honest, I was looking up state property gear a couple months ago. I just got curious. This Belmar. Let's make this right on Belmar. I got this car tailing me. Why you tailing me, bro? You on the phone too, tailing me? And they was on the phone tailing me, and I was gonna let these people cross. He was on the phone, like his hand was on his ear and stuff, you know? But yeah, so that was a true story, man. That was a true story. I used to bring, I'm not proud of it, but I used to bring Xanaxes, Bud, Tombstones, Perks. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, used to distribute them amongst the youth, amongst my fellow peers. But yeah, man. So if you were able to cop, we got Great Taste restaurant right there next to us. So if you were able to cop yourself some quality khakis, or like an expensive, for example, some people used to come with a white tee. Let's make this up on Windsor, 5500 block of Windsor. Some people would come with a white tee. What's that? $5. Some people would go the extra mile and come with like a Lacoste white tee. I mean, like a Lacoste polo. Lacoste not cheap, especially at the time. Or like a polo white tee, not just a polo collar, but the polo brand, the little horse with like the little dude on it or whatever. The little teeny weeny, yeah, they would come with that. You know, that's an expensive shit. So some people would feel like they had more, you know what I mean, finances than others, so they would still try to find a way to bust on somebody. Yeah, that sucked. They ain't ever come at me for my clothes, but yeah, it just, I wasn't too fond of seeing people get picked on, you know what I mean? I wasn't too fond of that. I did my best to stand up for whoever was like, you know, near me, or whoever I saw, you know, that genuinely looked like they couldn't handle themselves. So let's say in high school, You know, you had the cool table, you had the cool group, you had the, let's say, I guess I would say the not so cool group, but you had the sports team, you know, as cliche as that sounds. You know, you had the cool group, you had the jokers, you know, not jokers like there's a gang, but like people who like, you know, goofed off and bust a lot, remember busting? People used to bust on each other. And then, you know, you had like the young boys that played. We got a couple homies on the right. You had the homies that played Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and you know what I mean. Then you had like the little emo group. You had a couple mixtures of groups. Sometimes they would politic with each other. But anyway, we had a couple people on my left right here. But you had a variety of groups. So I was what you could call a free agent. I didn't really stick with one group. I would well, let's make this clear. I didn't go hang with the sports crew because I'm not a sports fanatic, and I ain't go hang with the people who you would probably consider the cool group. I didn't hang with them, but I ain't really. I used to walk around the lunchroom. Everybody was sitting there, and I used to just walk. That's part of my daily routine, was walking, and I used to just monitor everything. Like you would think that I was like an NTA or something, because I was just bouncing all around the lunchroom, and I would very often, avidly, check up on the youngins that was playing the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I hate Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't care about Yu-Gi-Oh. Passing Warrington, 58 from Warrington. I was never into that. Bakugan and all them weird things. I don't know. I never got into none of that stuff. Let's make this left on, what's this? Beaumont. We got a beer spot on my right. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, I used to politic with the ones who weren't as popular. Even though the popular ones knew me, they knew of me, they knew who I was, they never really said nothing to me in the sense of where they crossed my path, you know what I mean? So everything was on 100, everything was straight there. But a couple times, like, they try to scheme, like, the youngest I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards or playing Pokemon cards, and like, you know, they would come and try to like grab it and, you know, take it from them, and you know, they couldn't handle the situation themselves because, you know, they were scared, or for whatever reason. I would do my best to go try to find that card back and make sure that he got his card back. You know what I mean? What I was known as in school, I was kind of known as like the hustler. Like if you needed something sold, talk to me. Warrington. If you needed something, a car sold, whatever. We're at 59th and Warrington. Some amps, some parts. I don't care. Whatever you're trying to sell, talk to me. You know what I mean? We're passing Windsor. They already knew. Talk to me. I'll get it sold. I was one of the only students in 9th grade driving in 9th grade. Before I even was legally able to drive, I was driving. We passed Belmar. We're approaching Springfield Ave. Yeah. And then when I got my license, I got my car painted orange. I paid for a paint job, orange. Did the bodywork and paint on a car that I had. That was a family keepsake. I painted it orange. My bad, y'all. I'm young. Painted it orange, and I put rims on it, system, TVs, PlayStation, PS2 at the time when PS2 was relevant. Remember when Need for Speed Underground was popping? I had Need for Speed Underground in my car. I was like one of the only high schoolers just chilling, doing it, killing it. And yeah, so I was known for that. A lot of people said that I was serious, that I look real serious. Let's make this left on Trinity. Yeah, but I didn't really have to worry about it in high school. Like, you know, I didn't really have to worry about it. I didn't get picked on, I didn't get bussed on. I had a pretty good high school 4-year period. I was blessed to have a good 4-year period. I did what I could to defend the ones who were not able to fend for themselves. I provided respect, so I always got respect. Yeah. And like I said, I used to distribute products, so at one time, I remember during my peak, I would have like 3 or 4 people distributing product. So I give them all a bundle, you know, bundle 26 $5 bags. That'd be $1.30 piece, and I gave you 30 for bring me back a bean. So you brought me back 100, you keep your 30. I don't care what you do with your 30. You smoked it, you sold it, whatever. But I would do that daily, and I would give them, you know, B's. I'd give them a B on the strength, you know, I knew who I was giving it to, and then I would collect at the end of the day, or depending on how often they was able to flip it. We're passing Kingsessing Ave. Yeah, every 2 to 3 days, depends on, you know, if they wanted to make more than a 30 piece, basically if they wanted to make 60 for the day, then they had to, you know, sell 2 B's, which would be equivalent to 260. They have to bring me 2 beans, bring me 200, and that's per, you know, if one person wanted to make 60, he wanted to make 90, he wanted to, so yeah, so I did have the mathematic game on Smash. I was crazy. My locker, I had like hydroponic and dro and purple haze and all types of posters in my locker with like women and like drugs, basically, in my locker. I remember one time they were checking lockers. We're passing Greenway Ave, and somebody gave me a heads up. They came into the class and told me that they searched the lockers. I went out real quick to the hallway and I ripped all the posters off my locker. Yeah. It was a couple close calls where I almost got caught. Yeah, I almost got caught with like a pack and all that, but I was able to finesse it, you know? Like I had the NTAs that was super cool with me. Let's make this right. This is Woodland, right? Yeah, this is Woodland Avenue. I had the NTAs that were super cool with me. Super cool with me. Like, I'm talking about cool. Like the NTAs was real good with me. The NTA is like a security guard. For those of y'all who don't know what an NTA is. An NTA is like the security guard of a high school. So yeah, they would let me in the building when I needed to, like outside doors, inside. Like I'll go come in and out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't have any brothers and sisters in my high school. It was only just me. I didn't have no family in my high school. It was just me. It's not like I had 3 brothers in my high school. Like in real life, I do have 7 sisters, 1 passed away, and 3 brothers. I didn't grow up with them, but I do have siblings, you know? I'm the oldest. But I didn't attend school with them. We got 2 females on my left-hand side. What was they up to? They was dressed like they was about to go to the club. There ain't no club around here either. But yeah, so I didn't really have nobody. I had a couple homies that I used to politic with, a couple good homies. Shout out to Hugo. Shout out to Chung or Kung. Shout out to Kenny. Shout out to I had a couple other homies. Some, you know, tighter than others. Sway. Had a couple homies. But yeah, I was chilling. The good old days. Passing Upland. I didn't consider myself popular. I consider myself average, but it wasn't until I graduated and 2-3 years later, we're passing Raynard. I ended up chilling with like separate people, and I was like in my 20s. Remember, I graduated at 18, when I was like 9. I would say like 20, 21. I chilled with a couple people, had some sessions when I used to partake in greenery, and they were talking to me, and they was like, "Yo, bro, like in high school, we thought you was popular." And I'm like, "What? What you mean, bro? Don't get it twisted. Do not put me in that bunch. I'm regular, bro. Power Rangers unite." So, you know. But yeah, nah, bro. But yeah, I got that from like 2 or 3 different people that had told me, like, in high school, we thought you was, nah, bro. Like, you didn't notice that I was free roaming? You didn't notice I was a free agent? Like, I was with everybody. Like I would sit at the table with the Yu-Gi-Oh players for like a little bit and politic. Yo, what's up? Will, you all right, Wilfredo? Yo, what's up? Kenneth, you all right, bro? And these are like, Kenneth was an Asian kid. He was Vietnamese. Wilfredo was a heavy-set brother. You know, and he used to draw. He was an artist. Amy was with Kenny. A couple other people. And now I know a couple Kennys, and I know a couple, you know, people with the same name, and yeah, Pastor Trinity. I remember being in classes with like some of the jokesters, right? And they'll be busting on other people in the classroom, and I'm sitting literally in the middle of the classroom, and they busting on people past me, right, way on the other side. And I'm like in my head, like, bro, just wait for it. Let me see what's gonna go down. Their bike, but ding, ding. And no, they ain't ever bust on me. No, a couple times they, like I said, one boy said, "Look at his fist. Them Johns is big." Yeah, my fist is big, bro. Yeah, but it's all good, man. I graduated class of 06. Yo, they grilling on my right hand side. Yeah, I'm in 88, baby. I come in peace, though. That's how I was able to. Wow, they just ate the red light. That's how I was able to stay alive for so long. Not get into any drama, not get into any unnecessary beef, stay in my own lane, not put too much of my info out there. I'm really cautious on how I move. I don't put my business on Front Street. I don't try to shine or outshine people. I give props when due. When I can, I share. Sharing is caring. I learned the less people know about you, the better. I only started telling more about myself right after my homie Walt passed away. Because for those of you who don't know, I used to be Incognito. When I was Toonography Entertainment, nobody knew what I looked like. There was not a picture of me on the World Wide Web. There was no video footage of me on the World Wide Web. I stood invisible for so many years. I was running Toonography Entertainment for 7 years. I was shooting tons of music videos, and nobody knew what I looked like until they had a business meeting with me, and we shot the music video. They didn't know what I looked like. I stood so low profile, it's not even funny. People would try to take a picture of me. Nope, I did not want to be in the group picture. Nope. And if any imagery was of me on the World Wide Web, I would blur my face out. So I had no face. It was like no face, no trace. I would blur my face out. So yeah. That's how I move. I move differently. Like even when I just went to California, I still got that habit to this day. I went to California, I was in California. I left on a Monday night basically. Came back on a Friday morning, right? I didn't post no imagery, no footage. I didn't even let the World Wide Web know that I was in California until my plane touched back down in Philly. And I scheduled 21 videos for 21 days straight. You had people on day 15, day 16 still talking about some have fun in Cali, tune. People still thought that I was in Cali. We're on Warrington Ave. 58th and Warrington Ave. Yeah, I'm gonna make this right on Warrington. Let's should I go up 60th? Nah, I'm gonna make this right. Bethany Baptist Church on my left. But that's how I move, man. I like it that way, you know? Prefer to be that way. And I recommend anybody to do the same, you know? Not everything that's known has to be said. Passing 57th Street. 57th and Warrington. And it's good to have friends and all, but I learned like the less friends you have, the better. You'll end up finding out who your true friends are as you age. You know, friends will come and go, but the true ones stay. You know what I mean? We're at 56 in Warrington. It was once said that if you're 50, 60 years old and you have at least 5 good friends you can count on one hand, then you're gifted, you're blessed. Some people are 50, 60 years old and they ain't even got 5 good friends. You know what I mean? So when you're young, you hang around with a whole bunch of people. You hang around with a lot of people. But then you see who's funny over the years. Not the good funny either. We're at 55th and Warrington. You see who act foo-foo. Some people be acting, goofy. And not the good Goofy either. Yeah, but it's cool, man. We're at 54th Street. Now, my elementary school years kind of suck. Remember how I said that my high school years, I didn't have to worry too much about any of that? I didn't get insulted, like none of that. It was cool, you know? My elementary school years, remember I told you I had a speech impediment? A lot of people say, too, but you don't stutter. We got a whole group of homies on my left-hand side over here just chilling. Remember I said that I stutter? Y'all was like, no, but too, you ain't got no type of speech problem. Nah, I stutter. Even in this video, I caught myself stuttering like 10 times already. I probably do it in such a fluid pace that you guys can't hear it. And I fix myself quickly, but I do stutter. I repeat words 2-3 times. I like drag a word for so long or whatever the case may be. But when I was in elementary school, I used to stutter bad. So you know kids are harsh. Yeah, people used to like, you know, giggle and laugh because I used to stutter. Back about my face. Yeah, but that's kids. Kids will be kids. The Lord blessed me with the gift of vocabulary right now, and I'm able to speak and articulate myself in a manner that many people can't. We're at 52nd and Warrington. No street through in front of us, so I'm gonna make this right hand turn on 52nd Street. But yeah, a couple people commented on some of my videos and said, we appreciate your gift of gab. I didn't even know what the gift of gab was. Gift of gab, I had to look it up, and it's the ability to continue talking. And believe me, it shocks me too. Was that firework or a gunshot? I would not be able to tell you. To be continued. Until next time. Say no. But anyway, whatever it was, let's keep driving southbound. Let's not drive towards the exit. Let's drive away from the exit. Because bullets ain't got no name. We're passing Springfield Ave. But yeah, guys, so it's no joke, man. It's no joke. Passing Chester Ave, crossing over Chester. There's some girls going to the Chinese store on my left. So as you can see, there's some ambience in the neighborhood at nighttime. There's some ambience. I guess the locals. But you don't see a lot of random people here. Matter of fact, there was a shooting right here on my left-hand side, 52nd and Kingsessing. Yeah, I actually used this clip on let's make this left right here. This corner store right here was on the news. Somebody got shot and killed there. I think he may have been a rapper or connected to a rapper in Philly. And yeah, it's in the Kingsessing hood. It sucks, man. It really does. Yeah, but they said that I had the gift of gab, and it's amazing. You know, it really occurred to me that I was able to speak when I started speaking in front of classrooms. When I was talking in front of, you know, K through 6th, then 6th through 8th, and then 8th through 12th grade, and then adults twice my age when I was teaching like seniors, 50s, 60s, 70s, computer literacy, resume preparation, all types of other programs that I was offering in a nonprofit organization I was working for. And when I used to get in front of the class and speak, I can't count how many times I got goosebumps, because I'm like, wow, there was a day when I couldn't speak a fluid sentence. There's a whole group of people on my left chilling. There was a day where I couldn't speak a fluid sentence without stuttering, and now I'm in front of this classroom. I got, you know, 28 sets of eyes on me, and they're all relying on me for today's lesson. Oh boy, that was like a powerful feeling. Super duper powerful. And I thank, you know, God and the universe so many times for giving me this ability. Sometimes I slur and I mess up words more than I do other times. It's not easy. It's not easy, but right now, it's like, I've been doing this since the 2nd of December, daily. We're on the end of July, right? This is being documented on July 31st. I think tomorrow's the 1st. So that means, you know, several months, 8 months or almost straight. And I was working with youth for 10 or so years. So, you know what I mean? I was in a classroom environment for 10 or so years. So it's nothing new for me to come here and speak to you guys, because I used to get lesson plans prepared daily, or when I used to have staff meetings and I had to speak to the staff, because I used to also manage the staff, you know, 10 plus individuals, team leaders and youth workers, and yeah, when I was activities coordinating, booking trips and ordering materials, designing the lesson plans. I remember that I would go to like these AVRP meetings and all these different meetings, right? When it came to lesson plans and stuff, and I would design these lesson plans, and my lesson plans, I guess, was so good, PHMC lesson plans and all that. I remember other sites were using my lesson plans, like they were using my lesson plans as like an example, and people were using like literally my word for word. I'm like, what? Like one time I went to visit a whole nother school, and they literally just used my identical lesson plan. I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy. Like, I developed this, and they wasn't even doing it with the same passion that I developed it and had in mind and I envisioned. But, you know, because everybody's going to teach differently. You know, you can give 10 people the same piece of paper with some directions. People's going to articulate that differently. Look, we got trolleys in front of us. But, yeah, it was crazy, y'all. It was super duper crazy, man. We just turned right on Grace Ferry Ave. I figure, let's just cross the same bridge that we crossed to come over here. Let's just cross it back. We reached our 1 hour mark, but I pretty much enjoyed talking to you guys. Why does it have to be over? No, Toon, stay longer. Yeah, but I really enjoy it, you know? So right now, like I told y'all before, I say it again, when I press record, I think somebody said it in one of the chats. They said Toon's on robot mode right now. And I find that intriguing yet flattering, that statement. I'm on robot mode. Because it's me, it's the kid that used to stutter. The kid that had a bad speech impediment. But I'm able to captivate an audience across the World Wide Web and retain. I'm humbled and I'm blessed, and I'm very fortunate to have such awesome ladies and gentlemen from all walks of life to be able to retain your attention. I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate that. And I understand that I attract the older crowd, and I think that's decent. Like, that blows my mind. Like my mind is like super duper blown. But I want to continue growing. I want to continue doing better. And I want to continue creating content and documenting the world while enhancing my outlook on life. You know, unfogging my window, because I looked through such a small window for so long that, you know, I didn't really get to experience life. I remember people used to ask me a year or two ago, where'd you go, Toon? Like, have you been anywhere? And I'd be like, no. I've been to Jersey, New York, Puerto Rico, maybe Baltimore, Delaware. That's about it. That's everything that's around me. That's super duper close. I didn't really have no real, like, anything under my belt. And after I went to Cali, I'm really thankful for that trip, because I knew this year I wanted to do some exploration of the country, but I didn't know to what scale, you know, because funding is everything. These trips aren't like, that trip to Cali wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap, yo. But I was fortunate enough to do it with y'all help. You know, you guys helped me along the journey. I had a cool reasoning behind it, not only so I can experience it, but so you guys can experience it. And it really opened up my eyes and said, Toon, you gotta get out more, bro. You gotta get out more. I wanna see what the world has to offer. I'm not looking forward to the 120-degree days in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? but it's a part of life. You know, it's a part of life. Life is about learning. Life is about growing. Life is about trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Right now we're entering University City. We're gonna be entering University City. I'm about to go back down north. I think that's gonna be it for today's tour. I guess it's like the next day. It's probably already August. Hold on, did I shoot this on the 30th or is it the 31st? It's Saturday, so whatever Saturday was, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So I think this is gonna be it for today's tour. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate everyone's support. Oh, I should do not enter. Shucks. We'll make this U-turn here. That's a cop pop out of nowhere. Woo! Excuse me, sir. You weren't supposed to make that U-turn, sir. I need backup. There's a young gentleman in a vehicular device waving his arm around like some sort of monkey or something. Nah, but yeah. Thank you for watching, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I look forward to what the next couple months have in store. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm anticipating greatness. Don't forget, I'm trying to give away that e-scooter. I really want to give away that e-scooter. It'd be nice if I can give away that e-scooter before I leave. But I think we're about to hit 35,000 subscribers. That is awesome. That's a spectacular milestone. But I'm giving away that e-scooter at 50,000 subs on Tune 215. And when Tune Be Chillin' reaches 1,000 subs. That's when I'm gonna post the link. But yeah. And we'll do more giveaways. Like right after that, I'm gonna do more giveaways. For Tune Be Chillin' and for Tune 215. Yeah, so. Okay, guys, I think this is my time to say farewell. We've been streaming for 1 hour and 7 minutes, going on 1 hour and 8 minutes. Yeah, y'all, that was a little bit of Kingsessing. We didn't cover all of Kingsessing. We just did a little bit of Kingsessing. As always, feel free to browse my channel. I have over 400 plus tours covering all different neighborhoods in Philadelphia, PA. South Philly, Southwest Philly, West Philadelphia, Northwest Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, Northeast Philadelphia, Center City, Philadelphia, and the eastern half. We don't really have an East Philadelphia, but I do have the eastern half documented also. With that being said, show some love in the comment section. Show some love, love, love. This is your homeboy Tune, Mr. Tune Dollars, Tune 215. Tune about to fall asleep while driving. Say no. It is kind of late though, and this cold air be like hitting. But anyway, thank you, y'all. This is Tune, and I'm tuning out.